folks. We're Grey Czar, a rock band from Salzburg, Austria, and we're sitting here to say a few words for Antichrist magazine.
And the subscribers.
And
This is Roland.
and this is Wolfgang.
Hello.
So he's the drummer in our band, and I'm guitarist and singer. Yeah. So what's the meaning behind the band name? It's kind of has not too deep meaning. So it was a long process to gain it or to create it, and we were looking for tons of names in the process together, and we came up with Grey Czar, and I think it was mostly because of the typo and because of this entity, like this.
These two words together. It's not too long, not too short, and it's sort of has a uniqueness to it because, especially in here in Austria or the German-speaking world, the English written version of Czar sort of always is curious to people, and we like the name, but there's not really a deeper meaning behind it. So Roland, what can you tell us about the new album Euarthropodia?
The new album Euarthropodia is a concept album we created right in this room, and it tells a tale about a fallen world in which human beings, messed it all up and brought all down, and the new species arises, and this is like an insect dystopia, and
so sort of humanity gets replaced by insect queendom.
Yeah, of sorts, and we try to catch that story and like the vibe of this, this broken place, and try to create a soundscape for it, and try to tell a story within the whole album, and try to bind it together. So to talk about the lyrics of the album, we try to think about how would the world evolve if a new species took over, and we came to the conclusion that they could make it like us, and break it down again.
It's sort of the concept is this cycle, because not just humans step into it, into the problematic situation of using up too much resources and living above their means and just using up too much and not conserving enough. And we thought that sort of an overbearing, multiplying insect multitude of insects. So the whole of the arthropods, so the ones with spidery legs and all that, and all those different kind of insects, we thought, well, those sorts of ecosystems, what would happen if they would just multiply and use up all the resources? So they would sort of prosper in the beginning, working from each other, and then maybe they would use up too much. So each song highlights a different stage in the story, and there is a multitude of different stages. I think that the first couple of songs sort of focus on the fall of humanity and what's left behind, what's the vibe of it, and then the change over to the Euarthropodian queendom, and until like later in the album where they sort of mess up as well, and in the end have to, make some difficult decisions and then move on as well. Roland wrote most of the lyrics for this album, so he sort of tied it together with this theme, and we were just the name Euarthropodia sort of sort of weird word, closer to the scientific descriptors for the insect world, for insects and the whole of insects, but sort of an art word as well that should describe like this insect world, so sort of like in a science fiction movie. The overall theme can be taken very matter-of-factly, like with the insects, but it can be taken as well in a sort of subtle manner where it just describes the cycle of civilization that's overstayed its welcome. So the cover art, like the album, took quite a bit of time. This is the first time we decided to source out the cover art, and we sort of wanted a catchy artwork that sort of captures the concept album. So I really like the concept album. Like one of the most recent ones I really enjoyed was Warp Riders by The Sword, and I really like the artwork. It sort of spoke to their concept and this whole thing, and like older concept albums like from Pink Floyd and stuff like that. I think it is really an opportunity to tie it together with the artwork.
And we found an artist from Macedonia, Pickhands, and we all liked his style. So he's hand inking his graphics, and he's magnificent.
Great artist.
Great artist, and we're really happy with the result and how it turned out, and glues the whole concept together, and reflects like the meaning, or it's like I think he put a lot of work and effort in it, and we're really grateful. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and it brings it's a first for us to really bring in a lot of color as well on an artwork. Like on our previous artworks, we sort of stayed in the black-white scheme or in a like toned down.
So it spreads kind of a happyish feeling.
So the Grey Czar sort of becomes colorful Czar this time around.
I would say we wrote the pop album. Yeah,
most definitely.
Next question: how was your experience with working with Octopus Rising? So we're really happy to found a home with Octopus Rising for the release of Euarthropodia, and overall the communication was polite, great, and it was. They work in really professional and fast, and we're really happy to be part of this well situated label within the scene, and we have a lot of great bands actually on the roster.
Yeah.
So
we found some new bands that we didn't know before on their roster, and when we were checking it out, and we really enjoy a lot of them, and it's great that they're so diverse and that they support a lot of different artists.
And you're missing something if you're not checking out.
Yes. So what do you do outside of Grey Czar, Roland?
Outside of Grey Czar, I'm a teacher for art and handcraft, and I work with children. And I don't know. I'm a old, settled rock and roll bastard.
You're not that old. Come on.
So we're like we're struggling a bit with our to bring together our private lives and jobs and the band, but we're we're a driving force. So we like, yeah, we manage it to head up the pace.
Oh yeah, 15 years onwards and still coming into the rehearsal space, making videos for you guys.
Yeah, or sort of.
Sort of for us as well. Yeah.
That's it. We're actually 4 people.
Yeah. So it's not just Roland and Wolfgang, it's also another Wolfgang, our bassist.
A bassist and Florian, our key wizard and guitarist.
Yes.
And he's a doctor actually, and Wolfie is working as a light technician.
Yes.
Do you know? What is it? When did you first discover your interest in heavy music? So when I share my experience with heavy music started quite early. My older brother had something to do with it, and I think my key moment was the concert of UNITA in Salzburg, Rockhouse. Yeah, they blew me away. Sort of. I was 14 years old, and this was like one of the key moments to get in contact with heavy music. I think my first CD was Offspring, Self-Esteem, because I really dig the skull cover, like the skeleton, and yeah, and Rancid because I like the haircut of the punk.
Nice.
And out come the wolves. Yeah, I don't know. What was your?
It started for me. It started at the similar age when I discovered, the from the music collection of my siblings, my elder siblings. So I discovered the Foo Fighters and rock music in general, and Filter and all sorts of different Pixies, different bands, and then a boyfriend of my sister introduced me to System of a Down, and that really did it for me. And from then onwards, I looked for more heavy music, and I think my first live experiences were actually in the local scene, and I started really digging a local band here in the Salzburg region, where I went to the concerts with my sister, and I knew their lyrics, and I listened to a lot, and generally there was no going back, because I like with music there are different phases you go through, but still like heavy music, always come back to it and really love it. Love the heavy riffs.
What challenges have you overcome as a musician?
Well, personally, I myself overcame the challenge of sort of doing this and that on the drums, so that was quite a challenge. I started late, so but as a musician,
there are always challenges. So I think I'm always struggling with my guitar work and and with my I don't know, with my discipline to rehearse in my private space. So and there's like I always have music going on in my mind, but I'm struggling with it. Yeah, with the instrument, I think. So guitar is like a workhorse for me. It's not like I'm not grabbing it up and play everything. So I'm searching a lot. I'm building, and try my best.
I feel like from my point of view, the challenges are most in the writing process. When you're really in the rehearsal space, it isn't as heavy now as it was, like, I'd say 8 years ago or something like that, when we were writing our the first, the second release, the EP, or the second album, when you're like deep into the writing process and you have those rehearsals where you're just playing and trying around, but you can't quite find the right next part, or it just doesn't click yet, and it sort of feels like you have to go through this valley of tears. And sometimes we drove home together, and I remember talking to Florian, well, this was a heavy rehearsal, we didn't quite, it feels like we didn't accomplish something more for the song. And there were quite a bit of those moments, but in the end, like, those is, you push through that, and the next rehearsal you might have the click, or Roland comes around with the riff, and you think, yeah, that's it, that was the thing that was missing. And I feel like it's always a challenge to go through that, because then rehearsing the songs, you always get around to it and play them well at some point. And of course there are those technical challenges if you're not a trained musician or don't have the luxury to play your instrument every day, because you have to work, you have to care about your family. But I think in the end, if you come back to it and there's still the hunger for it, it's always great to overcome those challenges and to face a new one.
Any non-heavy artist you'd love to collaborate with is a good question.
I haven't really thought about this question up until now, when we read through those questions, and I was thinking about it as well. Of course, we listen to music that's not heavy as well. So for me, three artists come to mind. One, Jazz Sabbath, so sort of a jazz. I think they're quartet, so they play Sabbath songs as jazz versions. So I would like to collaborate with a jazz band. I myself cannot play the jazz, but I would love to. And also, like, Father John Misty. I like his piano songs and his writing and his lyrics and his singing. So I don't really know if I would like to collaborate with him, but I sort of enjoy the music. Yeah, and maybe surprise chef. So that one's a surprise. You should look it up. So
yeah.
So, Roland, I'd like to ask you, how do you see the evolution of heavy rock music over the years?
So I think it didn't stop. It grew. So there happened a lot of great rock music in the past, but so I think there are a lot of great artists now. So they refer to the masters, or but I think there's a lot of heavy music to dig out there, and a lot of great artists. We have
Yeah, I think in the sub scenes, in the smaller scenes, I think there's always a lot been going on, so it never stopped. Even though rock music sort of disappeared from the mainstream, but I think it didn't do it any disservice. So every music has their time, and I think it's interesting what the post-punk scene did in the last couple of years. Sort of the artists, what they did, like Idols or Viagra Boys, what they're doing with sort of heavy music, but also mixing it with not so heavy music, but making something unique out of it. So that's not been done before, maybe, or even is something like an iteration of something that has been there before.
in rock and roll. Rock and roll is not dead; it's evolving. Or
no, it never was dead. It never died.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
And it changes. It will be there as long as we have instruments.
Yeah. Definitely.
Rapid fire section.
All right.
What are our thoughts about AI generated music? So
rapid fire, you do this.
yeah,
One.
I think it takes away all the fun. So I don't want to let a machine make my music. So I don't want to let a machine compose my music. I want to go in the rehearsal room, be together with my friends and people I like, and make music. So it can't replace the process. It can't replace the joy and the act of itself.
Yeah, I think it only reiterates on things that have been there, that have been made by humans.
Yeah. So do
But
we?
I think it can be I think it can be valid to do it if you have a point in it, but we would not enjoy it.
No.
So for our music at least. So first album you bought with your own money. So for me it was like the White Stripes. I think like all their first 5 albums I bought is on CD when I bought my first couple of CDs. Yeah.
I think it was Hubert von Goisern, or it was Jazz Kitty. I don't know. It's like a
Damn.
famous Austrian musician.
Nice.
Oh.
So a conspiracy theory that you think could actually be true?
Yeah, I think it could be true that we're all insects. So and we're living on a devastated planet, sucked out of resources and yeah, and humans are gone.
Sort of like an euarthropodian world?
Yeah, so sort of.
Interesting, yeah. So I myself think they're all true, so let's jump to the next question.
What is it? If your music were a movie, which one would it be? Yeah, sometimes for me, I think it's kind of maybe 4 Rooms or Lost Highway, or I don't know. Lost Highway is too dark. I don't know.
Nah, for me it's Die Hard.
Die
Because
Hard.
15 years onwards and it's still going.
Oh, yes,
He's
but-
still there.
And if it
Roland's still coming in with
Yeah.
a new riff.
and I think if it will die, it will die hard one day.
Oh yeah.
What's the worst job you ever had? So, the worst job I ever had, or you can
Yeah,
sample.
think about it. You go first.
My worst job, I think it was quite funny, but yeah, if I think about it in retrospective, I think it was the worst job. I put out Dickmans, like chocolate, so
Sweets.
marshmallow filled chocolate sweets for promotion, and we had a Dickman balloon which was our bar, and we just gave those sweet things away, and you couldn't stand the taste of chocolate and the smell of chocolate after a few hours, and it was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Not the worst, but it was quite exciting.
Yeah, for me it probably was working at a sawmill. Yeah, that was very, very mind-numbing work. I was just doing very the simplest jobs because they didn't want me to do anything else. So I just was, stacking boards all day. That was so mind-numbing that after that job, I decided I would never work at a sawmill again.
So what's your favorite pop song?
Like all-time favorite?
Like favorite? I don't know.
Current favorite?
Current favorite pop song?
It's definitely, I think, because we were talking about ABBA, so I'd say ABBA Chiquita. Yeah, great song. I go with that one.
How about Chiquita? I can't think of a pop song I do not like.
Come on, you mentioned. There you have it. So they're all great.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the future plans for Grey Czar?
The future plans are like continuing our passion and make our path like continue
onwards and die hard.
Yeah, continue the good things, enjoy life, enjoy loudness and sweaty environment.
Sweaty dudes.
Sweaty
drinking
dudes.
beer.
Yeah, so I think that's it for now, and
thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for watching, and
we're very sorry.
have a good time.
In fact, if you've been watching until the end, we are very sorry about this.